in the area of green building development, I think Hong Kong has moved forward a lot in the past few years. Now, I think that's a sort of figures that's very telling. If you look at the number of buildings registered under the BIM Plus scheme, now when the scheme started back in 2010, we have a dozen buildings, 12. At the moment, the figure stands at around 1,300. So in less than a decade's time, we saw an increase of about 100-fold in this area. And I think this figure is very telling. And then, of course, there are various other positive developments that we have seen in the recent years. Much of them, I would say, much of them owes to the good work and contribution of the Hong Kong Green Building Council. So I would commend the Council for that. I think the Hong Kong Green Building Council has been making all the right moves and in the right direction, and has been a wonderful partner of not just the Hong Kong SAR government, but the entire Hong Kong community. So I congratulate the Council on the very auspicious and commendable occasion of its 10th anniversary. I think the Council is worth a big pat on the shoulder, and on the part of the government, we'll continue to work in partnership, very close partnership, with HKGBC to make Hong Kong a greener, better, and environmentally more friendly community. Going forward, there are several areas that I would like to mention. On our own part, we are also looking at expanding the concept of BIM Plus. You know that at the moment, the regime mainly applies to individual buildings. So we are looking at the possibility of applying it to civil works projects. In the near future, we'll be seeing whether there are possible trial projects that can be done so that we can assess more accurately whether this is the right direction to go forward. I'm confident that this can be done. Other forces I work to. We've been talking about the development of new development areas. We call the NDAs. We've also talked about the reclamation of about 1,000 hectares of land around Kao Yi Chau. Now, for those new projects, they will provide much potential for us to apply green building or green area concept. You will notice that for our more recently developed areas where the scale is present, where the location is right, let's say Kowloon East, Kai Tak, we will adopt district cooling system, DCS. Now, DCS is something that we'll look into very seriously when we consider the development of other new areas of Hong Kong as well. Our experience so far with Kai Tak is that it can actually result in if you look at the air conditioning systems, the energy saving is close to 35% when you have DCS and you compare that without DCS. So that's something very positive. And you know about also the adoption of MIC as a construction method. Now, one of the benefits of MIC is that if you look at material wastage, there can be very, very substantial reduction. So I think there are a lot of good things going for Hong Kong that I think the Council would like to see as well. As close partners, I would say that I appreciate the direction in which the Council has been moving, that it is not satisfied with the status quo. Neither is the government. So I think the Council is constantly looking at how better to apply the green building or green area or green works concept to Hong Kong. It continues to strive hard to come up with recommendations that are pragmatic, that are workable, and that can work together with the government. So instead of seeking to give the Council advice, I'll actually commend the Council for its very proactive and rigorous approach and for the contributions that it's been making, and I'm sure we'll continue to make to Hong Kong. Happy 10th anniversary, Hong Kong Green Building Council.